fix this. That's how cheap I'm doing these videos. I have a Logitech camera, can't say the word, right here. It's hooked into my computer and I can see myself. See, I want to use my phone, but I need 1,000 subscribers before I can live stream. So I had to rig it up with a $150 camera so I can hook it up to my computer so I can live stream it. I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll get there. Yes, I want to get there. That's right. Okay, so this morning, well, first, this is number 180 YouTube Live yoga routine. 180 in a row, every day, at 5:30 to 6 a.m. So this morning, I was looking up quotes about flexibility and stability. And I was trying to find quotes about how flexibility is strength and how flexibility is stability. And I came across this quote by John Wooden. I don't know anything about John Wooden until maybe 10 minutes ago. But this is his quote. Flexibility is the key to stability. Again, flexibility is the key to stability. John Wooden. Now, John Wooden was an American basketball player and a head coach at the University of California, Los Angeles. This is from trusted Wikipedia. And I don't doubt it's not true. It's probably true. And he won 10 NCAA national championships in a 12-year period as head coach at UCLA, including a record 7 in a row. No other team has won more than 4 in a row in Division I college men's and women's basketball. Now, why that is important is because he's obviously an accomplished basketball coach. He's passed away. He already passed away, I think, in 2010. He was born in 1910. Well, he lived 100 years. But his quote is important as a basketball coach because flexibility is the key to stability. Now, I don't know anything about basketball. Last time I played a basketball game, like 21, or was 30 years ago. That's how old I am. Maybe 25 years ago. And I've never played a real basketball game in my life. I do play horse and out with my kids in the backyard. But other than that, I know nothing about basketball. But I do know a little bit about coaches. Now, I don't know about coaching. I mean, coaching, you can go get a PhD in coaching. It's a science and a philosophy. But I know coaches who see their coaching in life. So they see what they're coaching the game as life. So in the game that they're coaching, in their philosophy of coaching, mimics how they think one should live life too. And here, flexibility is the key to stability is important because most likely this coach, John Wooden, saw that in the game, be flexible. And there's stability and flexibility throughout the game of basketball. I know nothing about basketball, but I'm assuming that's most likely true because I can see that. And I see that in yoga too, for example. When you're flexible, you're stable. So for example, if you're in a mountain pose, now you're going to think mountain pose is not being flexible, but it is. It is because you're being stable. You are stable in the mountain pose. It's just standing there. And I'm harping on the mountain pose because it's such a basic foundation of yoga. You're stable. and you're flexible at the same time. So when you're about to wobble, you go with the wobble. And there's stability in that wobbleness. There's stability there. And when you take this off the yoga mat, that's what we're learning. Everything on the yoga mat, we're taking off the yoga mat. And you're flexible throughout the day in your decisions, in your movements, in your actions, whatever you're doing. There's stability there. There's a thread of stability in being flexible. So I'm assuming this guy, John Wooden, saw the game of basketball that way. You know, you're dribbling over here. Again, I don't know anything about basketball, and then somebody's here, you dribble over here. You're flexible. Boom, boom, boom. That's a layup. Probably not how you do a layup. You probably roll it off your fingers. I don't know. Or a dunk. Boom. But you're flexible. You have to move through the game and be flexible. And there's stability in that. Same with yoga. When you're going through these yoga poses, you're moving, right? You're moving. And there's stability in that movement. There's flexibility in that movement. It's all one. And when you get off the yoga mat, you move throughout the day. You're flexible. You're moving. Going over here. You want to do this for the day. Oh, okay. Can't do that today because something. You don't keep on pushing, and then break through. I mean, life, you go with life. So, probably a terrible, terrible explanation to focus on flexibility is the key to stability. But I don't think so. Because this guy, John Wooden, based on Wikipedia, was an accomplished coach. And I do know one thing about coaches. I know a few coaches, and they see life just like they see coaching. And that's the quote for the day. I'll put my phone up. I have a little table there. Not a table, a chair. I have my crayon. I have a pencil. I have my phone. I have some other books over there. So today we're going to do the mountain pose. We're going to be stable in the mountain pose because we're going to be flexible. It's all a mental thing. Everything's mental. You're transferring what you're feeling in these poses to the mind. That's what's happening. So when you're in the mountain pose, for example, you're being stable, getting stable, being flexible. You're going with the flow, with the skeleton. And that transfers to the mind of being stable and flexible. And then what happens, the mind and body becomes one, and then you go off the yoga mat in so-called the real world, and you're flexible, you're stable, you're going with the flow of life. And you're learning that on the yoga mat. You're practicing that on the yoga mat before the day starts. Awesome, man. I find it to be awesome. Nobody else does because I only have one subscriber. No, I have 61 subscribers. And I think 55 of those were subscribed 10 years ago when I had this channel 10 years ago. I just opened it up throughout 10 years. I had people, they probably don't even get on YouTube anymore. So I have about 6. Half of that's my family. No, I have about 12. Half of that's my family. Anyways, so mountain pose, 2 sun salutations, being stable in all the poses. We'll do a couple variations in them. And then back to mountain pose, focusing 100% on the breathing. And then, boom, 6 a.m. And then you can start your day. So feet are shoulder width apart, toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed. So no tension in the arms or the shoulders or the neck. And you're lengthening up. So you get the skeleton, pull the skeleton up. So think of a string on top of the head, pull yourself up, and then let the bones sit on top of each other. And then you just find that spot where the skeleton is just standing. And again, to find it, it's a mental thing. That's where the mind's working. So you're being flexible. You're moving the body where you can feel the stability. And you go with it. Going with the flow. You just focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. When you're focused on that breathing, it heightens your awareness. It lets you feel the body, it lets you feel where you are. But you're not focused on that stuff. You're focusing on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. I keep on saying that because I know it's important. That is the key. The breathing is the key. The focus on the breathing is the key. Because if you're 100% focused on breathing, you can't have judgment. You can't have control. And the mind and body then becomes one. And that's yoga. Bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Now push the arms out, up and back. Inhale. Inhale slowly. It's the first stretch, so go nice and easy. Then you exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back. And then you're just going to fall in a ragdoll. For the ragdoll, the arms are dangling. The head is dangling. And there's no tension anywhere, so you just release. Think of the lower back and just release. And just let the body fall where the body falls. You're accepting. That's part of flexibility. That's part of finding that stability. Acceptance. In acceptance is stability. We cloud it up with mental judgments. And we think, man, this and that. Nope, let go. And just accept. The palms to the calves. Or elbows into the sides of the legs. Arch the back, raise the head. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can. And then exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in. Push all the air out. Get all the air out. And once all the air is out, you can arch the back, raise the head. Inhale again. Inhale as much as you can. Then exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in. Push all the air out. Get all the air out. And again, arch the back, raise the head. Inhale. And then exhale. Pull yourself in and down, force to the knees. Get all the air out. Then once all the air is out, just release. And just watch yourself breathe. So you're pulling yourself in and down. But once you accept, you're no longer doing the movement of pulling yourself in and down. You're just stable. You just accept. You just focus 100% on the breathing. The palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. With a low lunge, top of the foot to the floor in the back, knees to the floor. Hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching. So the hip bones push forward, back arches, head goes up. Front knee is not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some. Palms to the floor, maybe you're to your fingertips. Maybe you're like this. That's part of the flexibility of the mind. Just like I was reading with the quote. Flexibility is just not about the body. That's part of it. When you feel flexible, you transfer that mindset. You transfer that from the body to the mind. But flexibility also exists in the mind. You're adapting, you're accepting, all that stuff works together. In yoga, it's difficult because in yoga, you split all this stuff up with words. Right there is no longer yoga in the sense because separation is not yoga. Oneness is yoga. So when you use language, you automatically put this veil over the oneness and it separates yoga. It's an experience. So all that stuff works together. Flexibility, stability, all that stuff is one. I'm just using language to explain it, hopefully to make you tap into it, just like the Buddhists with the bamboo hits, boom, and you finally know what bamboo sounds like. You finally know what bamboo is when you hear it hit, pow, split second. And then high lunge. So with the high lunge, curl the toes on the back, knee goes up, leg as straight as you can get it. Pull yourself up and out, and you're still arching the back. Now my back looks straight, but technically I'm arching it for me, and I'm accepting it. And I'm just focused on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. Downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really push into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight. Tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor. And you're focused on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. Push a little bit more. I'm just going to go to a plank. I don't have my stopwatches over there, but we're just going to go to a plank. So you're going to modify this how you have to, but fingers wide as you get them, middle fingers pointing straight out, and you're just focused on the breathing. So your abs are engaged. So the belly button's going into the spine. So you're not hollowing the abs out, you're engaging them. And you're still focused on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. Now to modify this, you just go down to hands and knees if you like. And you can even go back some. But whatever you're doing, get the abs engaged. Focus on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. Back to downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really push into it now. Focus on the breathing, 100% focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. That's the link that allows the mind and body to become one. And then you can slide into the upper dog. You drop down to the knees, in the chest, you slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. And you're just focused on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. And you can modify this if you like. You can go to hands and knees, do the cow. So the cow is where you arch the back when you're on hands and knees, or the small cobra, pulling yourself up so the chest goes off the floor. Palms are touching the floor, but you're not pushing up. You're pulling up. You're using the back muscles, which are pull muscles. And back to downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really push into it now. And just focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. You're going to bring the left foot up between the hands into a low lunge. With a low lunge, tuck the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, so the hips are pushing forward diagonally, back arches, head goes up. You're to your palms, maybe to your fingertips, maybe you're up like this. Just make sure the front knee is not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some. And then just focus 100% on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. Now here, the abs are still engaged, and you're feeling open. It's a mindset of openness. And the body does not dictate whether the mind is open. That comes with acceptance. So if you're down a little bit, and you're feeling like, man, I'm not open, let go of that. That's not what we're doing. Feel open. No matter where you are, you feel open by accepting where you are. 100% focus on the breathing. Now you're going to curl the toes under in the back, knee goes up, high lunge, settle on the high lunge, so knees off the floor, get the leg as straight as you can get it. You're reaching out so the back is arching. If the back is straight, some people do it with the back straight, elongate, stretch out the back. And just accept, get stable. Focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. Now, right foot goes up. High lunge. I'm sorry, not high lunge. Standing forward bend. We just came from the high lunge. Pull yourself in and down and just accept where you are. So if you're up here, don't think, man, I'm not doing this great. I'm not doing going up. Let go of that. Even if you're all the way into it and you're feeling like, man, this is awesome. Let go of that. That's judgment too. That's awesome, but that's not what we're doing. We're letting go of all judgment, focusing on the breathing. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. And turn the palms out, push the air down and out, exhale. Again, inhale, one more sun salutation. And then exhale, as you exhale, hinge forward from the lower back, pull yourself in and down, standing forward bend, get all the air out. And then just release and watch yourself breathe, thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. And then when you're watching the breathing and you're focused on the breathing, that heightens your awareness. It lets you know what's going on in the body. So in this pose, for example, you're inhaling, the belly swells with air slightly, it pushes you out of the pose slightly. You go out of the pose. Let yourself go out of the pose slightly. And when you exhale, the belly goes in, and you go back into the pose. It's a subtle, subtle movement. You're not focused on it, you're aware of it. So when you get off the yoga mat, you're aware of subtleness. This is what you're learning on the yoga mat, to become aware of subtleness. One of many things. The palms to the side of the feet, left leg is back. Into a low lunge again. A low lunge, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally, back is arching. And you're feeling open. And make sure the front knee is not over the toes. And just feel opened. Remember, think of only the breathing. And you're opened. So when you get off the yoga mat, you're open. You feel open. So when you're in a situation that you feel enclosed, once you accept it, you're open. Openness allows you to have new ideas, to see things differently. You're just open. It's a great way to feel throughout the day, feeling open. Now curl the toes under the back, knee goes up, high lunge. We're just going to stay here for a little bit, not long. We usually only stay for a few seconds, but today we're going to focus on stability. So if your back is straight, you're stretching out the back. If it's arching, you're really doing a scoop. So you're scooping, hip bones push forward, back arches up, or arches doesn't arch up. And accept where you are. So even if you're shaking a little bit, let's say you're shaking a little bit, go with the shake. There's stability in that wobbleness. There's stability. And then then to downward dog. Pushing into it, arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels or towards the floor or into the floor. You are pushing into this pose. But you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, accept it, and then just focus on the breathing. Then you slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and the chest, and you slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. And modify the pose how you have to. And just focus on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but the breathing. And back to downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really push into it now. It's the last downward dog. And if you're feeling like, man, I can't go further, then don't. Don't listen to me. We're doing yoga together. I'm not your leader. I'm not your master. I'm not your guru. You're going to be your own guru. That's what you're learning here. To be your own guru, listen to your own body, listen to your own self. So when you're off the yoga mat, you're listening to yourself. You want to be your own guru. Then bring the left foot up between the hands into a low lunge. A low lunge, stop the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, head is up. Front knee is not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some, to your palms, maybe to your fingertips. Maybe you're up like this. And just focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. Feeling opened. You're not focused on feeling open. You're feeling it. You're focused on the breathing. That heightens your awareness. It lets you even feel maybe you have an issue in the knee or in the hip or in the back. You're aware of that stuff, but you're not focused on it. And that's the mindset that you're learning here, because when you get off the yoga mat, you have so-called issues. You learn that you're not those issues. You handle them, you take care of them, but you are not those issues. Then high lunge, curl the toes under the back, knee goes up, get the leg as straight as you can. My leg is as straight as I can get. I think it's straight. Now, let me see. Looks a little bent, but it's straight. Straight as I can get it. Focusing on the breathing. Let go of judgment. Elongating. So the back is straight. It is straight. Reach out. Elongate the back. And if you're arching, push and scoop. And just focus on the breathing. Then standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down, get all the air out. And then just relax into the pose. Now palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Turn the palms out, push the air down and out, exhale. Then to mountain pose. Remember, in mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart, toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed. No tension in the arms or the shoulders. And then you lengthen up. So lengthen up, pull the skeleton up, then let the bones sit on top of each other. And find that spot where the skeleton is just standing. As if you were just your skeleton. Find that spot. And then you just watch yourself breathe. Now here, watch yourself breathe by focusing on the belly. As you inhale, the belly swells with air. And then when you exhale, the belly goes in. You watch that, or you bring your focus to the tip of the nose and watch the air go in and out. Remember, you're already breathing automatically. So let go of control. Don't control the breathing. Just watch it. And then what will happen, most likely, you'll start to control it. You realize you're controlling it, just let go and watch it. The same is with the mind. Many times you'll start to think about other things. And when you realize, hey, I'm not even thinking about my breathing. I'm thinking about other things. Just let go. Don't judge it. And just bring your focus back to the breathing. And eventually what happens is you realize you are not your thoughts. You're not the control. But you are the thing that's watching. So we're just going to stay here a little bit longer. So just watch yourself breathe. Bring the palms together. That's it. That's it. That is number 180 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. So I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.